we as humans, we're always really impatient. We're really wanting to see results really, really quickly. But the problem is sometimes we just get our focus wrong. We get our structure wrong, or sometimes we don't even have a structure. We don't even have a plan. All we want to see is quick results. So we go out, we work hard straight away. We try and rush to see those results. And that's where we get unstuck. So the most important thing when you start something new, especially an endurance sport and training for an event, is just taking it back and scraping it back. Now this involves patience and discipline. Sometimes you have to take that speed away, you have to take that power and strength away. You have to lose a little bit if you want to gain further in the future. So sometimes we do have to just take a big breath and just slow it all back down, go back to basics, not worry about speed and power at this stage. It's just going back to basics and focusing on the fundamentals. If you can really do that and lay those foundations early, it's going to help you gain a lot more come the later stages, especially when you're getting closer to your races, when we start throwing in your race specific stuff and your speed and your strength work. But the thing is, we can't do a lot of high intensity and a lot of high volume all the way through our training block. Doesn't matter if it's 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, we just can't sustain that much stress all the way through. The other thing that happens as well is that our body adapts really quickly actually. So if we go out and we go and train at high volume, high intensity from the start, within about 6 to 8 weeks or so, your body's probably going to just plateau. It's not going to be able to get any fitter. So sure, you might start off and see some progress really quick, but you're actually not going to hit your full potential. When we start a little bit lower, it gives ourselves somewhere to build to. All right, we get to build our technique and make sure our technique is on point. We get to build our aerobic fitness, we get healthy, we build a really nice solid platform at the start. And then we can build and build and build and build. And basically what that'll do, as you go along, every few weeks, you're slowly just increasing. You might be increasing your volume, increasing your mileage, increasing a little bit of your intensity. And it's constantly going to be challenging the body. It's going to constantly just give it some new adaptation as you go along. That in turn is going to help you climb further and essentially get faster and healthier and fitter in the long term. So it is a long-term game. So you do have to have patience and you've got to have discipline. You've got to understand that when we do a training block, it could be running or triathlon or aquabike, whatever it is, we ideally want to break that into 3 key phases. The 3 key phases are your foundation, your aerobic work, go back to basics, scrape it all back, take away some of your speed work, take away your mileage, bring it back to basics, focus on your technique, try and get your technique right, so that way as you start to build your volume, then that technique is actually in place, okay, and you're not going to create bad habits. It's much harder to go through not focusing on your technique, get into the middle stage of your training block and then try and change your technique when you've already done 3 months of hard work creating bad habits. So go back to basics, focus on your technique, slow yourself down, get the form right, focus on your skill development, get your body healthy, get the right rest that you need, and start building your aerobic base. Yep. From there, then we can start building and building and building. That might be throwing in your strength and tempo work, building your mileage, starting to work a little bit harder, and then obviously in that final piece of the puzzle where we get a little bit more sort of race specific, focusing a bit more on high end power, trying to really just bring it all together at that later stage. That's when you're going to really start to see it all come together. So patience is extremely important here. Now, if you think about the block, right? We've got this whole block. Check it out now. There's an image coming up now. If we have a scattered little section through that first section where we're really trying to focus on our foundation building, and we're not really hitting too many targets, we're a bit inconsistent, it's not anywhere near the race, so we're struggling maybe with just getting into a bit of a routine and just focusing on the most important things. You can see it's really kind of scattered there, and then as you get closer and closer to the race, then start picking up the intensity and start picking up the motivation and getting a little bit harder, and you can see that what we tend to build here, if you're sort of looking at all these boxes that we might have ticked, you can see that it's quite an unstable kind of build leading into our race. Yep, the top end is really high and heavy and really full of lots of green boxes, but the back end, like the bottom end of it, where it's the most important, where you're focusing on your form and all the most important things that help you with your endurance and training all the way through your block and helping you last longer in a race, you're missing all that sort of key foundation. And then eventually at some stage, that's just going to topple over and you're probably not going to see the results that you really wanted to, and you can end up in overtraining injuries and illness and literally just not getting what you actually need, and that's, you know, that really strong aerobic foundation. Whereas you build a nice solid base from the bottom all the way up, that's just going to help you continue to build and have a really nice solid training block, as you can see there. So get to work now, guys. Just really start to focus on what's really important, and that's setting your foundations, trying to build that really strong base, trying to build your good habits, get your routine locked in, and from there you only set yourself up for success.